My name's Jim Parton. I'm 48 years old. I've been living in Poland for 8 months. I was born in Nairobi, Kenya, but I'm British. And I'm here for a new adventure. My father was a British Army officer, so I was born in Nairobi, Kenya. That was a British colony at the time. I'm a third of 4 children. We lived in Germany, we lived in Belgium, we lived in Malaysia, many places. And then I went to a Scottish university. Then as a young adult, I was an English teacher in Japan for 3 years. Then I worked as a stockbroker in the City of London. I don't like sitting in an office where you can't even tell if it's a nice day outside. I don't like ringing out people and trying to sell them things. When I lost my job in 1991 in the credit crunch, after 3 or 4 months of trying to find another job, I suddenly woke up one day and decided I never want to do that job ever again. I wasn't suited to it, it wasn't my personality. And then I started to write a book without really understanding how difficult that is. A couple of my old books. Robbie Williams, the famous pop star, I wrote that, but that's me. And that book did very, very well when it came out in about 1994. Then I wrote another one, a novel, about getting divorced because I was going through a terrible divorce at the time. Anna I met because I'm a really keen sportsman. She's actually quite a good sportswoman. She comes from Bielsko-Biała and she was under-16 ping pong champion. She was a Polish girl working in England, as many Polish people do. She was the girl behind the bar. And I thought, she's nice, and invited her to play tennis one day. So we played, and then we went out a few times, and I guess the rest is history.
Ja na przykład nigdy nie planowałam wyjazd poza Polskę. Jakoś tak podobało mi się w tej Polsce i nic nie chciałam zmieniać. Byłam nauczycielką matematyki, uczyłam również informatyki, ale był październik, był dosyć ponury dzień, padał deszcz i postanowiłam, że trzeba było coś zmienić. Postanowiłam, że będę się uczyć języka angielskiego właśnie w Londynie. Trzeba było zapłacić za szkołę, zapłacić za swoje wyżywienie, mieszkanie. Jeden pan zaproponował mi, że jest praca właśnie w tenis klubie. Są tam ludzie jakby z całego świata. I dosyć dobrze grają w tenisa, to muszę przyznać. Jim grał w pierwszej lidze. Mówię, świetnie gra, prawda, pierwsza liga. Rozmawialiśmy właściwie tak jak z każdą osobą z tenisku. Mówię, bardzo sympatyczny, miły. Ale zaczęła się jakby nasza taka znajomość i przygoda po summer party, kiedy jakby kończy się sezon i wtedy właśnie były jakieś tańce, pięknie przystojne stoły. Zaczęliśmy grać tenisa stołowego. Koło północy zakończyła się cała ta impreza, można powiedzieć. Zaczepił mnie właśnie, że mówi najpierw, no dobrze, odprowadzimy cię i później tak zaczęliśmy się spotykać. No i tak się zaczęło. Rodzina Jima ma jakby swój domek we Francji i tam pojechaliśmy po prostu razem. No właściwie tak zaczęliśmy być ze sobą razem. Narodziła się potem Józia, pierwsza nasza córka. Później zaszłam w ciążę z drugą córką. Potem był ślub w Wieliczce z gośćmi właśnie z Anglii i z Polski. Jim chciał pokazać gościom z Anglii, czego jeszcze nie widzieli, nie doświadczyli.
It wasn't like I have a Polish wife, now let's go and live in Poland. It was, at first I wanted just to invest in Poland because I see it as a country of great possibilities. You know, it's on the launch pad. England is an old economy now and maybe a bit tired. Poland is a new economy with very energetic people, and my feeling is that Poland is going somewhere. So I thought, well, let's buy a house as an investment in her hometown of Bielsko-Biała.
Kupując lokalną gazetę z nieruchomościami, Jim natrafił na ogromny pałac, osiek grodzkowski, naprawdę piękny, wspaniały i taki prawdziwy pałac, bardzo zniszczony, bez okien, bez drzwi.
So once we got hooked on that idea, then Anna got pregnant. So that particular palace, somebody else bought it. But the idea didn't go away, and we went to visit the conservator in Opole, and he said, well, I know that these 100 houses exist, these 20 are for sale. So we got a map, we just drove around, and Some were huge, like, you know, Versailles or something. And you looked and you thought, oh no, too big, too frightening. Others were in such a bad, fallen down state that you'd either have to be very, very rich or very, very stupid. And I'm not very, very rich, and I'm not very, very stupid. And eventually we found this one, which is big, but it's manageable because it has glass in the windows. It has a roof which doesn't let in too much water, a little bit, but not too much. And I could see that, you know, it's a beautiful house, it's an interesting house. There was a lot we could do with it.
Ja już miałam naprawdę dosyć, byłam zmęczona, mówię, ja nie wysiadam. Czy mówi, ten mi się podoba. Mówię, no dobrze, jak ci się podoba ten? Troszkę, że tak powiem, obawiałam się tego. I jak mówię, kupiliśmy ten właśnie pałac tutaj. Tym bardziej, że przyjechaliśmy we wrześniu. Taka pora właściwie już jesień, zaczęła być zima. Nie jestem aż takim wielkim marzycielem, może jestem trochę realistą i widzę, ile po prostu pracy w tym trzeba było. Tym bardziej, że jeszcze przeprowadziliśmy się może w nie najlepszym czasie, bo zbliżała się zima. Wiedziałam, że nie ma ogrzewania. Patrzyłam, okna są, dzieci małe. No i tak za bardzo, mówię, nie zdawaliśmy sobie chyba do końca w dwójkę sprawy z tego, co nas tutaj czeka.
The question people always ask first about this house is how many rooms? And do you know what? I really don't know, in the sense that although if you include small rooms like toilets and big cupboards which are so big you can walk in, maybe there are 50 rooms. And also the house was divided up. In communist times, I think this was the PGR. I'm not sure what that means. Safe. That's the first time that happened. That could have broken my toes. And then I think it's for keeping plates warm. This is our future bedroom. There are small details we have to arrange, like a floor, but we took the old floor up because underneath it looks like it's going to collapse. But from on top it looks okay, and the structural engineer says it's probably okay, so I think we can just put the roof back. We took about 20 tons of stone and brick and rubble from here. A bathroom here. Sometimes I say this is why we bought the house, because of the bathroom. Ooh. Very few original features left in this house, but one is this bath, which I suppose is at least 100 years old. We don't know if it's made of cast iron or ceramic, but a great big bath. So when I saw that, I thought, this is the house for us. This is just a balcony. This was the only part of the house which was falling down when we bought it. And now I'm glad to say it's not falling down, it's more or less fixed. It needs finishing, as you can see. A new wall, which will be plastered. So far as I can make out, Poland lost a lot of history in the war. You know, archives were destroyed, and so there's very little paper. I know that there was a German family with von in the surname. They were called von Lawrence, so they were a rich family. I know that they left in 1945 on a train, presumably running away from the Russians who were coming. I haven't been able to find them yet on the internet. It's going to be difficult because Lawrence is a very common name. Before that, there was a family called von Wimmersberg. I don't know who they were, but they owned the house till about 1845. And before that, it was the bishops of Wrocław. And the building is clearly built at different times. There are different parts which are different ages. On the front, there's a notice saying it was started in 1660, rebuilt in 1830, rebuilt in 1930. It's a puzzle, it's a history puzzle, and it's really interesting finding out slowly. And people come to us from time to time with an old picture. And obviously I hope to write a book about this. And by the time I finish the book, I hope I know everything. But right now, I know very little. Here's an example of about 3 or 4 years ago, some German students came to study the history of the house, and they went down layer by layer of paint. So there's layer 0, layer number 1, 2, I don't know where 3 is, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's the most recent I'm going to put a frame round like that so that when we redecorate, we will have a record of this is how we found the house when we came in the year 2007. This kind of thing. That looks bad, and it's a simple problem, just put up new plaster. Whenever I see a problem, I say, it's nothing, we can fix it. The thing about this house is it stood for 300 years, so it's not going to fall down tomorrow. Here, I think we'll probably just put little apartments, which we may rent out to holiday makers, I don't know. I have no idea what we're going to do with these rooms. The ideal thing is that maybe a little bit of agro-touristica, but not too much. Maybe, as a business, do weddings in the house. But I hope I write a successful book and I don't have to do any of that. Big bestseller, and I can live there in a very nice style. I'm quite sure we made the right decision to come here. The more we find out about the house, the less frightening it is. It will cost quite a lot to fix, but we can always stop. We can always say, right, we've run out of money, we live comfortably in this part, we'll wait to do that part. So I'm quite sure that's fine. Well, some of the notes are missing, but this we found in the house. I think I'll convert this into a desk. I know what to do. I did it with piano downstairs. I don't like to see pianos in a bad condition, because I love pianos. So I think we'll save this piano in one form or another. It will become a piece of furniture. I don't think it will ever be a piano again. So I love the piano, and actually it's always been a dream to play the piano in a big house, because the acoustic is very special. And you can, in my house in London, I had to think about the neighbours. Here I don't think about the neighbours. I can make as much noise as I like. I can make terrible mistakes. I can play music which is attractive to me but unattractive to other people. So I get a great deal of musical freedom in this house. I have the big piano in the hall. I have a desk piano where I work, a piano I made. It's an antique, and I made it into a desk. But I love pianos, and maybe one day I will have a piano in every room. Old pianos, beautiful pianos.
Słoneczko świeci?
Tak. Tak? Już tutaj. Tak. A może sobie stać? No teraz idziemy. Tak? Słoneczko świeci? Świeci? Super.
Mieszkamy w jednej części pałacu, na parterze, w 3 pokojach z 2 korytarzami. W jednym pokoju jest kuchnia z jadalnią, tam gdzie spędzamy większość naszego czasu. W drugim pokoju dziewczynki mają swój pokój, właśnie tam gdzie śpią, bawią się, tam mogą rozrzucać swoje zabawki, robić wszystko. I trzeci pokój jest dla mnie i dla Jima, tam też Jim po prostu pracuje na komputerze, czyli jakby jest jego biuro na razie. W takim małym korytarzu, w którym mamy łazienkę, prysznic, ubikację.
It's comfortable. We were warm in the winter. We survived the winter with just one wood-burning stove, made in Norway. It's very good. It was quite our most expensive purchase, maybe. We still haven't unpacked all our boxes. I mean, it's strange to live in a house with 30 or 50 rooms, however you count them, and not to have anywhere to put everything yet. We don't.
Żeśmy się wprowadzili właściwie do takiego stanu, jaki był. Czyli nie remontowaliśmy nic wcześniej. Odkupiliśmy od osoby, która 7 lat miała ten pałac. Nic w środku jakby nie remontowała.
Shortly after we'd made our decision and the paperwork for buying the place was nearly finished, Anna discovered she was pregnant. And then a month or 2 later, tests showed that it wasn't just one baby, it was 2. So we already have 2 very small children, and when the twins were born, the oldest child was not yet 3, so we had 4 children under the age of 3. So that has slowed progress. Does mean that my chief translator, who is Anna, is not always available. She's dealing with children.
Dzień rozpoczyna się różnie, że tak powiem. Dziewczynki wstają o 7 godzinie, to znaczy te dwie starsze. Jemy śniadanie i zawożę je, przeważnie ja rano, do przedszkola, do Otmuchowa. Zajmuje to około 10 minut jazdy samochodem.
It is very good for children, Poland. I think, you have an old-fashioned way of dealing with children, which we've lost in England. We've become too sophisticated. Children grow up too quickly. In London especially, the state schools are terrible, I think. They're disgraceful, and children don't learn much. They have no discipline. Whereas here, it seems much more friendly, and I find the local children in the village, they come to our house all the time, and at first I thought they're coming too often. But actually I like them. It's just the village way, people just come and they talk to each other, and they're very, very friendly.
Ja robię zakupy albo właśnie załatwiam jakieś sprawy. Przyjeżdżam i zajmuję się właściwie tymi maluszkami troszkę. Przygotowuję obiad. Jim, lunchtime.
Okay.
I szczęściarzem jestem pod wieloma względami, że spotkałam Jima, że razem po prostu idziemy przez życie, że ma też swoje wizje, które się realizują i które są wspaniałe. Jak również to, że po prostu mieszkamy tutaj i jesteśmy tutaj szczęśliwi.
Is this your soup or your mother's soup?
My soup. Very quick today. There's no time.
Po obiedzie mamy tam chwilkę, żeby ewentualnie jeszcze porozmawiać, co trzeba załatwić, jakie są sprawy.
Wonder what time Bron's coming tomorrow.
Normal time.
Jim jedzie po dziewczynki. Jeśli jest ciepło, to wychodzi z nimi do parku. Mają wielką radość z tego, że mogą sobie pójść nad staw i taplać się. To mają po prostu radość z tego niesamowitą.
You'd be really nice, that little frog. Now put him in the bottle. There we are. And there's some tadpoles there, look. Pianki. The children, Josephina, the oldest one, she's bilingual. Her English is very, very good because she learnt it in England. Poland, as far as possible, the rule is talk to them in English because they will learn Polish. So I always talk to the children in English, and Anna talks to them in English quite a lot too. Okay, don't drop them. Put them in the bottle.
Jak urodziła się nasza pierwsza córka, mieszkaliśmy w Londynie. Jeszcze nie było w ogóle żadnych widoków na to, że przeprowadzamy się do Polski. Jim mówi, słuchaj, mów do niej po polsku. Tak mówię, no jak to? Mówi, mów, dziecko niech uczy się od razu w 2 językach. Zobacz. Wszystkie zwierzątka tutaj. I bociana. Dzisiaj rano widzieliśmy bociana.
Tak.
Jak chodził sobie po łące.
This week, for example, Anna's mother has come. She'll stay for a week or two. She likes it here, and she's very good with the babies. Anna's mother is very, very patient with me. She talks to me in slow, clear Polish, which I still can't understand, but at least we get the meaning, and we seem to communicate. I wouldn't say I've experienced culture shock. It's not like going to Japan. It's, I've lived in Japan. I know what culture shock is. I know what being in a country is where you just feel 100% foreign. I don't feel 100% foreign in Poland. I mean, I'm not a Catholic, but it's still a Christian country, so the culture is the same. People's general morality is similar, and we have a chapel in the house. The intensity of religion is much higher than in England. We're much more secular. My mother-in-law, Babcia, she goes to church 5 times a week, which is a big surprise for me. And Anna, my wife, too, goes to church a lot. It's a small chapel. It's the village church. There's mass there every Saturday evening. It's really, I think it's nice to have there, and I suppose now it's our responsibility to make sure that we look after it and that it's a welcoming place. I worry that, as an English guy coming in, buying a bit of Polish heritage,